Hey everybody, it's me, Jesse. I been fooling with this green screen all day, and I'll tell you what, it's a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass. But I posted a video yesterday about being bipolar, and I just wanted to talk about that for a minute and let you guys know that, you know, a lot of people think that it's not that big a deal, that everybody has bipolar. First of all, no, they don't. Some people are just straight assholes. And they like to, people like to blame it on being bipolar. But that's not true. Not all people with bipolar are assholes, you know? But being bipolar is hard. It's hard because we have emotions like a light switch. It could be a tone of voice that you use. It could be a word that you chose to use. It could be a phrase that you used that we can take completely out of context, or we could completely misunderstand it. And then once that switch is flipped, it's really hard for us to calm back down. I've gotten better at trying to express myself. I've gotten better at trying to be open and honest, not only with myself, but with my wife, and being bipolar is very difficult to handle. I do take medication for it, but I chose to take medication that wouldn't turn me into a zombie. I I didn't want to be a zombie. Damn it, this hat. I didn't want to be a zombie. So my medication helps, but it doesn't cure it. It's still good. Just because I take medication doesn't mean that I'm not going to have outbursts. I won't have them as often. I won't have them over the littlest things that I normally would have. Because when I was younger, I was on and off meds, and I was off meds for a really long time. And that was a really, really, really hard time in my life. Not only was I transgender and didn't realize it, that was contributing to my depression and my anger, as well as being bipolar and not being able to understand or control my emotions. I didn't understand why I got mad. I didn't understand that the drinking that I was doing when I was younger, which was a lot, all the time, I didn't understand that that was making it worse. And that's why in my video that I posted, I put, if you have bipolar disorder, stay away from alcohol, because your moods already go like this. Okay? My moods go like this. But alcohol, it puts you way up here, you're happy, woo, having a good time, and then the next day, and probably the day after, and probably the day after, you're gonna go wham, down here, okay? Nah, I don't like my hat like that. You're gonna crash. And so if you have bipolar disorder like I do, I stay away from alcohol. Now, do I have a glass of wine or something when my mom comes up and visits? Like she'll make strawberry daiquiris, I'll have one. Or if we have a social engagement or a social, engagement, I might have one mixed drink or something. But I have gotten it under control to where, unless there's something going on, like a celebration or, something like that, I really don't drink. Because I had to learn the hard way that it was just ruining my life. Ruining it. It was another contributing factor to why my life was the way it was, which was very hard. I was in I didn't know until I got out of this depression. I didn't know just how dark of a place I was in 10 years ago, 15 years ago. You know, I was in a really, really, really dark place and I couldn't get out. And nobody else could get me out either. And, you know, a big part of it was being transgender. You know, that weighed on my mind heavily. I had body dysphoria about my breasts that I had. You know, I had body dysphoria about being a dyke. I'm going to use that phrase. I don't mean to offend anyone, or what do they call them now? Studs. You know, I had dysphoria about that because that wasn't how I felt. I didn't want to be seen as a dyke or a stud or, you know, butch, all these terrible, you know, all these names that people can come up with. I didn't want to be that because that's not how I felt. I felt like a dude, but I was in a female body. And so that made me very upset and very depressed, and nothing could make me happy. Nothing could pull me out of it. Nothing could deter me from this path of destruction that I had. Self-destruction. And it took a long time and a lot of work and a lot of reflecting to figure out what do I need to do to be happy? Well, once I went overseas, I started working out. I lost a lot of weight, started eating healthy. You know, I was sleeping better. My moods were better. And I was off medication. No medication. But you know, and I was happy. I was sleeping well. I had natural energy. I was laughing. You know, I had a good time. And once I started my transition with testosterone, that just made it even better because I was taking one step towards being the way I wanted to be. And then when I came home, I had my mastectomy, and just having my breasts taken off was like an enormous weight lifted off my shoulders. My clothes fit better, my shirts fit better. I wasn't trying to hide them. I didn't hunch over anymore, you know, because when I had breasts, I kind of stood leaning forward because I always felt like you could see them. And I wore 2 sports bras to keep them down. You can ask my wife. She thought it was crazy. But the mastectomy really opened up a door for me. And out came this personality that I didn't even know I had. You know, I was talking more. I was laughing more. I was, you know, more confidence. It boosted my confidence like you wouldn't believe, you know. And I met, you know, my wife, who's been with me during this whole process, you know, who thankfully accepts me, loves me, you know, loves me unconditionally. And she's been there through these milestones that I've had to go across to get where I am now. You know, it was a very hard decision to decide to grow my beard out because I knew once this beard grew out, there was no hiding it from my friends, from my family. And it's not that I was ashamed. It was, I was afraid. I was afraid of the ridicule. I was afraid somebody would find it disgusting. I was afraid somebody would find it freaky and weird, and, you know, they wouldn't want me around their kids or, you know, anything like that. There was a lot of fear with coming out and telling everyone that I was transgender. Now, I've known I was transgender. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know it was transgender, but I knew from I can remember going all the way back to 4 years old, 4 and 5 years old, and I knew. Hold on. Oh, I knew that you know, something was wrong. I knew that I didn't like the girls' clothes. I didn't like the boys or the girls' toys. I didn't like having my hair fixed. I didn't like dresses. I didn't like earrings. I didn't like jewelry. I didn't like anything having to do with being a girl. I could not stand, you know? So, hold on, my phone messed up. All right. I couldn't stand anything having to do with being a girl. And that has been my whole life. I wanted boys' toys. I remember being 6, 7, 8, and me and my friends who were little boys, we'd be walking around the trailer park with our shirts off, and they did it, so I did it. I didn't have boobs, but I think my mom caught me one time walking home, putting my shirt on, and was like, "You can't do that." And I was like, "Why?" I didn't think it was fair. And I wanted to be a little boy so bad, but I didn't understand why. I felt like God made a mistake. And then as I got older, I just learned to kind of deal with this misery and unhappiness of being stuck in the body that God gave me, you know? And I know they say God doesn't make mistakes, but he also gives us free will. And I don't feel like I'm doing anything that God will not forgive me for. He wants you to be happy. He wants you to be healthy. He wants you to believe in him. He wants you to be good to yourself and to be good to other people. That's all he really wants. And at least that's what I believe. I don't think God expects as much from us as other people think. I think he just wants you to be a good person and be, make good choices and, try to do the best you can and try to help one another. And, I think that's all God wants. So I don't think that when I pass away and I go wherever we go, I don't think that if God is real, I don't think he's going to say, well, Jess, even though you were a good person and even though you tried really hard to be good to others and do good deeds, you were transgender, so you're going to hell. I don't believe that for a second. Our God is a loving God. I mean, you have to be evil in your heart for God, I think, to condemn you. But anyway, that's enough on that. So, I've really come out of my shell with this transformation, and everybody has seen it. My wife said she's seen it from when I came home, and other people, like even people at her office, when I used to come in there, I was kind of quiet, kind of shy. And then they said, now I come in there and I'm outgoing and I'm talkative and I'm friendly. And that's the person that I wanted to be. I just didn't know how to be that person in my past, So I'm that person today. And I just want other transgender people to know that, they say that you have to follow therapists, counselors will say, you need to go through these steps to transition. I don't believe that. I don't think that anybody can tell you what's good for you and how you would like to choose to tell other people in your life about it, because it's my business, and it's your business. Now, you grow a beard and mustache, and that's going to be hard to deny. So what I did was I hid it for as long as I could, and then I came home, and when I had my mastectomy, I grew my beard out, and I took a picture, and I put it on Facebook, and I said, hey everybody, family, friends, I just wanted to let you know, from now on I'm Jessie, not Jessica. And if I'm your granddaughter, if I was your granddaughter, I'm now your grandson. If I was your niece, I'm now your nephew. If I was your sister, I'm now your brother. And if I was your granddaughter, I'm now your grandson. And I got like a huge amount of love and support, because I don't think it was that big of a secret. I think everybody was kind of like, I wonder when Jess is going to come out. I think they all kind of knew. And that made it easier for me because they kind of expected it from me, you know what I mean? But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys and tell you that I love you. I hope you have a great weekend. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, be positive, be happy, be healthy, be successful, be loved.